Good afternoon. I'll call to order this meeting of the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners on Tuesday, March 17, 2026. I'm Irene Fernando, Chair of the Board and District 2 Commissioner. I'm joined by District 1 Commissioner Jeff Lundy, District 3 Commissioner Marion Green, District 4 Commissioner Angela Conley, and District 7 Commissioner Kevin Anderson. Hennepin County acknowledges that the magnificent land and vibrant waterways from which our institutions benefit are located upon the cultural, spiritual, and indigenous homeland of the Dakota Oyate. Hennepin County calls attention to the Dakota people's ongoing connection to this special place. Onto the agenda, the first item is the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is to approve the agenda. May I have a motion, please?
Move it. Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Conley and Lundy. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The agenda is approved. 3 is Hennepin highlights, for which we have none. 4 are minutes from the previous meeting. 4A are February 12, 2026 meeting minutes. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Lundy. Any notes or corrections? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 5 is referral of correspondence and department communications. 5A through D are correspondence, and 5E through 5AC are department communications. May I have a motion to accept and refer as recommended?
So moved. Second.
Thank you, Commissioners Lundy and Anderson. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're on to 6 of the agenda, which is commendations, and we have 2 today. 6A is a commendation of Interim Assistant County Administrator for Human Services, Betsy David, upon her retirement, offered by myself. I'll move this. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Conley. Today we have a commendation for Betsy David, who's retiring after 8 years of dedicated service to Hennepin County. I'll ask the clerk to read the commendation and then open up for remarks from my colleagues.
Whereas Ms. David brought an extensive career in financial management to her work in Hennepin County, including roles as the Chief Financial Officer for federally qualified health centers and other healthcare organizations, as a certified public accountant, and as a financial management educator. And whereas in her roles as Hennepin County, Ms. David has facilitated and strengthened partnerships between Human Services, Public Health, North Point, and Hennepin healthcare systems in holistic services to residents. And whereas Ms. David brought experience as a financial educator to her role, enhancing leaders' financial literacy over time by increasing finance participation in leadership meetings, improving finance tools, identifying key financial opportunities, and above all, making finance fun. And whereas Ms. David lent her extensive knowledge of healthcare finance to help our Healthcare for the Homeless program become certified as a federal qualified health center, a sustainable finance model that is unique in the nation. And whereas Ms. David's work to develop and support a culture of continuous quality improvement and to facilitate and strengthen partnerships between human services, public health and audit, compliance and investigative services has ensured effective oversight of internal financial processes and vendor contracts. And whereas, as a leader, mentor, and colleague in Hennepin County, Ms. David has modeled collaboration, inclusivity, and passion, inspiring broad respect for her expertise, forward-looking innovation, and leadership style. And whereas Ms. David embraced the opportunity to serve as Interim Assistant County Administrator for Human Services, providing a leadership bridge during a time of transition. And whereas Ms. David has demonstrated a strong commitment to and focus on serving Hennepin County residents, eliminating disparities, and stewarding resources to meet residents' needs. Be it resolved that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners recognizes Ms. David's accomplishments, thanks her for committed and dedicated services to residents, and wishes her the best of luck in her retirement and in all future endeavors.
Very exciting. We will thank you for reading the commendation. We'll open it up to see if there's any comments from the dais, then vote, and then take a photo, and then welcome you to speak if you wish. Colleagues, any comments before we bring this to vote? I'll just, sorry, go ahead. Commissioner Green.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you so much, Ms. David, for your years of service and expertise. And, I feel as though you're a go-to person. I know of you as a go-to person, but I really appreciated this commendation to hear of all these spaces in which you have innovated. So interesting and exciting. And I do want to know that the words "making finance fun" are in quotes. Who said that? They're right. I also wanted to acknowledge your style. You have a very undemanding, probably not getting the attention that you are due style. And I'm glad that we're here today to celebrate you. I guess I'll just say that. And just want to wish you well in whatever's next.
Commissioner Conley.
Thank you. I just want to share that your service is so meaningful for all of the residents of Hennepin County, and making finance fun, I think, should be on a t-shirt. So thank you for doing that, and just for looking at it that way, because when we're looking at numbers with multiple zeros behind them, it can be daunting, it can be overwhelming, but being able to bring that into layman's terms for a lot of folks is not an easy thing to do, but you did it and did it well. So I'm wishing you the best. Thank you for your service.
And I will add to the chorus regarding your just steadiness. You are resolute. You are very compassionate in your leadership style. And to stabilize and strengthen human services during this particular time period, and to extend innovation with our health strategy, particularly with federally qualified, our kind of FQ approach. There are so many people who have had access to care that would not have otherwise. And a lot of the ideas that have been implemented have also come from workforce feedback. And so it's to really stitch together services received, feedback improved, and to ensure that our financial model is able to sustain that is really a feat. And we absolutely congratulate you on your retirement, and thank you so much for your service. With that, I believe we'll be ready to vote on the commendation. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations to Ms. David. We'd love to take a photo with you and then your very, very long speech that I'm sure you've prepared. Thanks.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Fernando and Chair Fernando and Commissioners. This work has been a joy for those 8 years. Our leadership holds resident services and well-being as our North Star, and it is easy to keep that direction. I've been privileged to work with incredibly dedicated, talented staff at Hennepin County. The Human Services Public Health Directors have led with deep commitment to our residents and ensuring we continue to reduce disparities and ensure we keep our residents safe, stable, self-sufficient, and well. The incredible staff of finance, analysis, and accounting have kept compliance, accuracy, stewardship, and innovation as the framework in serving residents. We start this work in 2018 with the work to move our healthcare for the homeless clinics into an FQHC reimbursement model, which tripled our Medicaid payments. It continues with the work on our CCBHC and optimizing our operating revenue in all of the relevant services. The revenue leadership has strategically brought in millions of additional reimbursement as they have reviewed our information and identified opportunities. We have moved from reporting accounting information to monthly forecasts in partnership with our service area leadership to better understand how operations impact our financial. And the applied analytics team takes our information and provides easy access and understandable reporting, along with alignment on our strategic work that is pivotal to Hennepin County. These teams are agile, smart, and they listen. And most important, they have the trusting relationships with our leadership. Thank you to the staff in Office of Budget and Finance. Deputy CFO Cindy Twistle and her team has led us through new auditors, many accounting changes, and a mountain of reimbursement in COVID response with a level head and excellent communication and leadership. CFO Joe Matthews, Lindsay Wolfschlager, Jenny Konisberg provide the framework for our rep finance that kept our work aligned with Hennepin County. And finally, a thank you to Deputy Kareem Murphy, Administrator Jody Wentland, and a very special thank you to Grace Hansen for your leadership and focused communication, that the residents of Hennepin County are the reason we are here. Thank you.
Six B is also a commendation of Debt Management Officer Catherine Kardell upon her retirement offered by Commissioner Conley. Would you like to move it?
I will move it, Madam Chair.
And I'll second it.
Thank you. So today we have a commendation for Kathy Kardell, who is retiring after more than 15 years of dedicated service to Hennepin County. I'll ask the clerk to read the commendation, and then we can open up for remarks from my colleagues.
Whereas Catherine Kardell joined Hennepin County in 2010 as the county's first debt management officer, having previously served as the Assistant Commissioner for Treasury and Debt Management for Minnesota Management and Budget, as well as a municipal advisor serving state and local government issuers across the country. And whereas in the last 16 years, Ms. Kardell has strengthened the county's expertise in public finance, including modernizing the county's debt issuance policies and creating internal processes to track, monitor, and manage debt-financed projects and related organizational and financial risks. And whereas since joining the county, Ms. Kardell has used her 41 years of experience to advise on or issue over $2.5 billion worth of debt to finance projects in almost every sector of the municipal market, including the transportation and transit, environmental, education, healthcare, sports, housing, and economic development sectors. And as of 2026, the county has more than $1.76 billion of outstanding obligations. And whereas Ms. Kardell was instrumental in improving the processes used by Hennepin County when serving as a fiscal agent for state-bound bond-funded grants awards to community nonprofits located within the county, including development of a formal policy in 2021, and that these state grants support the county's disparity elimination goals by providing community organizations with knowledgeable support and guidance needed to access and use tax-exempt state-issued bonds. And whereas Ms. Kardell has always looked for opportunities to mentor women, advance women's careers, and advocate for women inside and outside the organizations for which she has worked in. And whereas since 2013, Ms. Kardell has served in national leadership roles for the Government Finance Officers Association, including as chair and vice chair of the GFOA Committee on Governmental Debt Management from 2015 to 2021, and as a member of the GFOA Education Advisory Committee. And whereas since 2009, Ms. Kardell has served as a member of the University of Minnesota's Debt Management Advisory Committee. And whereas in 2011, Ms. Kardell helped found the Minnesota chapter of Women in Public Finance and served as president or as board officer for more than 15 years. And whereas Ms. Kardell's contribution to women in public finance include the creation of an annual conference that supports the professional development of the broader industry, as well as the many Hennepin County staff who attend each year. And whereas Ms. Kardell's leadership and industry influence has been recognized through national and state awards, such as the Bond Buyer Trailblazing Women in Finance Award in 2021 and the Minnesota Top 10 Women in Finance in 2010. Be it resolved that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners does hereby express appreciation to Catherine Kardell for her dedication to the county and its residents, thanks her for her commitment to strong financial management and public service, recognizes her nearly 40 years of leadership in public finance, and wishes her well in retirement.
Thank you. And, Madam Chair, clearly there's a theme of women in finance today on this beautiful 17th day of Women's History Month. And I'm just so grateful for the service that collectively you have given to the county. And I'm one of those people that believes that when we are in the positions like the one that you've held, Ms. Kardell, like the one that I have, we have an obligation to mentor and to give back. So to hear that part of your work has been mentoring women and in public finance, that can be a very male-dominated area is just incredible. So thank you for that.
Further comments? Commissioner Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So, Kathy, I remember meeting at the legislature when I was a legislator, and then there was a brief gap between my time at the legislature and my time at Hennepin County. And I remember coming here, and it was sort of like coming to a new school and finding out that somebody else had transferred as well, somebody that you really liked and enjoyed working with. And I just remember being so happy that you were here at Hennepin County. And then as I sort of listed off some of my favorite topics, like Southwest Light Rail, and I just thought, oh my gosh, like what, I'd like to go back to some of those early meetings when I was a brand new commissioner, and just thank you so much for educating me. And then also the fiscal sponsorships and bonding. I remember some hilarious conversations where I was like, well, all it takes is this, this, and this. And Kathy being like, well, let me spell that out for you a little bit here. I think that something that I want to draw attention to is your excellence and service in many jurisdictions. Like, we have had the benefit of you here at Hennepin County for 15 years, and you have been in all these other parts of municipal and state government, and those jurisdictions have benefited too. And really, that adds up to a state impact. So I want to thank you for that breadth of excellence and service, and also the mentoring of women in all those spaces, and certainly want to name the fact that you have mentored elected women as well. Thank you.
I will extend my gratitude to you, Kathy. I will echo in what Commissioner Green was sharing in terms of being educated by you. With immense respect to Dave Lawless, when you entered the meeting, I was like, oh, I must have asked something very specific to have endured both pre-reading and your joining of the meeting. So I thank you for your vision in financial management, and as expressed with respect to your role with women's leadership. I'm clocking this myself. So 40 years in public finance. So within 10 or 15 years of women's ability to apply for a credit card. I just want to cite this, and maybe just a couple decades after Black women were permitted the opportunity to vote. Like, let's just really situate what it takes, the risk-taking that you must have embodied. Likely we benefited from your earlier years where you had to listen with a different type of compassion and clarity than perhaps you were being provided, and I certainly was able to benefit from that style and your educational approach. So with gratitude, honestly, on behalf of younger women in the professional and public workforce, thank you for your risk taking, especially in those early decades. With that, I believe that discussion's concluded, so we will proceed to the voting on the commendation. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and congratulations. We'll take a photo and then the speech.
Thank you, Commissioner Conley, and all you commissioners. You're not incorrect when you say that starting out in this field, it was an interesting thing. More than once, I was the person that did the work, but did not get the recognition, of course. And so that's turned around a lot now. And I'm proud to say that we work with an all-female team in debt management, including my wonderful new successor, Sarah Brown here, and bond counsel and our municipal advisor. So we're going to keep it going and keep it strong because I think we just do great work. I'm honored to have had the opportunity to spend the last almost 16 years working with some of the smartest, funniest, and most delightful people I have had the pleasure to know. Debt management is a very niche part of what the county does, but in many ways it affects employees and residents all the time in terms of the facilities we work in every day and the property taxes that we have to levy to pay for those facilities. I've been very fortunate to work with very skilled people, both in the county and with our external partners in this role, as well as over 25 years of my career. I'm proud to call many of those people my friends today. I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the importance of my family, who have supported me every step of the way. Many thanks to my sister and my best friend, Nancy, for being here today. I can't wait for our adventure in France. We're going to France. We're going to cook in Julia Child's French summer home. So I can't wait for that. Thank you again for all this recognition today. It is very much appreciated. Thank you, Kareem. That's it. I only found out about this yesterday and I had no time to write anything. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you. Congratulations to such a wonderful team, and thank you for your service. Item 7 on the agenda are Commissioner communications, and we have one, which is snowplow driver appreciation offered by Commissioner Anderson. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Chair Fernando. As I'm sure we are all very aware, we have had a snowy winter this year, and this last weekend brought us a little bit more. Many of us have been able to get where we need to go in all of the snow, thanks to our incredible plow drivers who work each and every snowstorm. Just this past weekend's storm, Hennepin County crews have been plowing 24/7 since 6 p.m. Saturday evening. Our drivers covered every county road at least 7 times over the course of 2 days. That's a total of 15,400 miles of lane miles across Hennepin County. Now, luckily, this time was on our side. We had the storm hit over the weekend. Starting in overnight hours, it gave us plenty of time to provide warning. People had plenty of notice to stay home during the snowfall, which meant that our crews could do their work and stay on top of the accumulation. Now, crews continued to patrol through Monday evening and began to remove the built-up snow from bridges starting this morning. They're also using our motor graders to scrape hard packed snow and ice in troubled areas. Additionally, the snow and then wind gave our snow fences a chance to do their work. Snow fences are an inexpensive, low-tech tool that really does produce results. They're installed in rural parts of the county, i.e. District 7, thank you. They're a way of preventing buildup and dangerous buildup on roads due to drifting snow. These photos here are from a snow fence installed along County Road 11 west of Loretto. All of that snow that's caught by the fence was snow that our crews didn't have to plow off our roads. All of this work is not a singular event. Our crews are out each and every snowfall. Our plow operators take great pride in the job they do and stick with it until every road is clear of snow and ice. It was great to have our crews recognized by 3 different news stations during the storm. Channel 5 News even did a ride-along with Greg Wald out of the Bloomington shop. We are so proud of the work our plow operators do, and we're grateful for their dedication at all hours of the day to ensure that we all continue to travel on our county roadways safely. So thank you again to all of our operators who are doing this great work.
Very timely update. Next on the agenda are our claims register. We have 5. May I have a motion for, 8A is for the claims register period ending February 13, 2026, 8B for the period ending February 20, 8C for the period ending February 27, 8D for the claims register for the period ending March 6, 2026, and 8E for the period March 13, 2026. May I have a motion for the block, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Conley. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 9 are consent items. That means it passed unanimously out of committee. I'll note that 9R has an R1 and needs to be considered separately. That's the JPA with the City of Minneapolis for emergency rental assistance. So may I have a motion for 9A to 9V excluding 9R? Thank you, Commissioners Lundy and Anderson. Before voting, colleagues, any items that you'd like to draw attention to? Hearing and seeing none. We have a motion before us. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So now I think I'll take a motion for the 9R R1.
So moved.
Thank you, Commissioners Green and Anderson. Ms. Wetland.
Madam Chair, Commissioners, consent item 9R is revised to increase the amount we'll receive from the City of Minneapolis for emergency rental assistance. Julia Welliares is the current Acting Director of Housing Stability, and she's available to provide specific information and/or respond to questions.
Colleagues, do we have questions or would we like presentation on this item? I'm not seeing anything. So the main difference is going from 1 million to 2 million. So this is for those following at home. Hennepin County administers a program, and the City of Minneapolis last week had allocated 1 million, and now that number has increased to 2 million. So that's what's before us. If there is no discussion, we can bring it to vote. All those in favor of 9RR1, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. 10 are non-consent items. These are items that would have passed out of committee but not unanimously, for which we have none. 11 is our progressed portion of the agenda. These are items that would have progressed from committee to board without a vote, for which we have none. 12 is old business, items that would have been seen by this board previously and laid over to today, and we do have one. So 12A is a JPA between Hennepin County and the Bureau of Criminal Apprehension for the Minnesota Human Trafficking Investigators Task Force for the period of February 1, 2026 to January 31, 2031. I'll move this. May I have a second? Thank you, Commissioner Green. Ms. Wetland.
Chair, Commissioners, Major Magnuson from the Sheriff's Office is here to provide a background and available to answer questions.
Thank you. Welcome, Major.
Chair and Board, HCSO, sorry, are we going to reintroduce this again? Is that?
Yes.
Okay, yep. HCSO seeks to join the BCA as an affiliate member in the Minnesota Human Trafficking Investigator Task Force. This will allow HCSO to optimize deployment of its personnel and resources while continuing to meet and exceed the objectives of the task force. There are no material changes to the objective, scope, or operational framework of the task force under the proposed agreement. Pursuant to the terms of JPA, participating governmental units shall continue to provide licensed peace officers, equipment, and other necessary resources to assist in human trafficking investigations. They will comply with all operational protocol standards established by the BCA. In consideration for this, the BCA shall reimburse Hennepin County for eligible overtime, wages, and operational expense incurred by the task force personnel. Affiliate status allows HCSO the best chance to leverage our staff and address human trafficking occurring within our state. We are better able to leverage our staff, focus on rescuing victims and apprehending offenders under affiliate status. There's also a human trafficking analyst that works for HCSO and is co-located with the investigators. This will give the detectives the best ability to respond to tips from our analysts. Under this JPA, HCSO will have access to the equipment, personnel, and work proactive details with the BCA and other partners to recover victims of human trafficking.
Thank you. And so I'll just start here acknowledging that I was a vocal member that was offering feedback to this. At the time when it first came, for those watching at home, this came before us a little bit over a month ago. And at the time, there was a lot of questions around what types of agreements the sheriff's was entering with other agencies. We've received follow-up on that. I appreciate the chance to get to dig in further into the JPAs with various entities. I'm very comfortable remaining in partnership with the BCA, and I'll just express in transparency, there is a lot of concern from residents around surveillance, around what technology is being used, and so receiving clarity from the sheriff that that is not an aspect that is present in this action was assuring. And on behalf of residents who've reached out to me, it is still something, surveillance and what technology and what resident data is being used with law enforcement activity is an increased concern. And so I know that I'll be following up with the collection of JPAs that were provided for all of the agreements that the sheriff has with any state or federal agency. So I appreciate the follow-up. I acknowledge the timing, including my own feedback, and want to express to residents who've reached out, we have heard about the concerns with respect to the resident data and technology, and myself and others are certainly seeking to increase that in priority. So those are my comments, and I'm prepared to vote in favor of it today, but I'll open it up for colleagues. Commissioner Conley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So just a quick question on the reimbursement. Do you have any idea on the timeline that the BCA will reimburse for expenses? Is it like you provide them with what overtime was accumulated and they reimburse? So any idea of the timeline?
That's correct. We will track hours that are reimbursable under this agreement, and all those hours have to specifically apply to human trafficking details. So we do that and we submit for reimbursement.
Thank you. And just to follow up for the operational expenses too. So can you give me some examples of what they might reimburse for
Right.
that?
So if we're going to do a proactive detail, obviously it can be labor intensive as far as bringing personnel out, as far as whether it's communicating out how the detail is going to go and then making arrests and bringing, or anytime we get a victim who is recovered, we would call somebody in, whether that's a hospital patrol deputy or an officer from a different agency. They would, if they get called in, they're going to come in and interview right away and try to provide resources to that victim immediately. So all of that would be reimbursed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Further questions or discussion? Thank you very much. Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor of 12A, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13 on the agenda are immediate approvals, and we have 4 today. 13A is declaring March as GRI Awareness Month in Hennepin County, offered by Commissioner Anderson.
I would like to use that.
I'll second it. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you. March is GRI Awareness Month. GRI disorders are a group of rare neurogenetic disorders that can cause a variety of health conditions. I'll ask the clerk to read the commendation, and I will have some additional remarks after.
Whereas GRI disorders are part of a larger family of genetic diseases related to ionotropic glutamate receptors, which play an important role in learning and memory as well as other critical biological functions. And whereas parents of children with GRI disorders typically notice that something is wrong when infants begin missing milestones. And whereas the most common symptoms of GRI disorders are developmental delay, intellectual disability, epilepsy, hypotonia, severe constipation, limited or nonverbal communication, paroxysmal sympathetic hyperactivity, cortical vision impairment, dystonia, sleep disorders, feeding difficulties, limited mobility, and autism. And whereas without a genetic diagnosis, some individuals are incorrectly diagnosed with cerebral palsy or other genetic neurodevelopmental disorders such as Angelman syndrome. And whereas the disorder is not degenerative, and biomedical research suggests that neurological symptoms may be reversed even after decades of severe symptoms. And whereas there is currently no cure for GRI disorders, but fortunately, there is hope. Scientists working at hospitals, universities, and pharmaceutical biotechnology companies around the world are studying NMDA, AMPA, kainate, and delta receptors and the genes that code them. Some believe a cure or multiple cures will be discovered for GRI disorders in the next 10 to 20 years. Be it resolved that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners declares March to be a GRI Awareness Month and extends their support to all families hoping for a cure.
Thank you. Madam Chair, is it all right if I continue? Thank you. I'm proud that we're bringing forward this proclamation, recognizing March as GRI Awareness Month here in Hennepin County. For many families affected by GRI disorders, the journey often begins with a quiet realization that something just isn't quite right. When a child begins missing important developmental milestones or showing signs of regression. What can follow can be unbearable time searching for answers, navigating complex diagnoses, and advocating every day for the care and understanding that their loved one deserves. These disorders are incredibly rare, but the families living with them are a part of our community. They show extreme resilience as they help their children or child navigate immense challenges ranging from developmental delays and epilepsy to communication and mobility barriers, all while dealing with a labyrinth of indignities often brought upon by dealing with insurance providers. I had the honor to speak with the incredible mother who brought this to my attention, Mariah, who shared her experiences this last week. I want to give special recognition to her and the entire Swanson family for being absolutely amazing people who are really doing the important work of advocating for their children. I want you to know that we stand with you in this fight. Thank you for bringing this to my awareness. We know that for many families, like the Swansons, hope is that the incredible progress is happening within the biomedical research. Scientists around the world are studying these receptors and the genes that influence them, and many believe that meaningful treatments and even cures can be possible in the years ahead. Today's proclamation may be a small thing, but it's a meaningful step for Hennepin County to recognize these families, raise awareness, and affirm that you're not alone. So to everyone working towards better understanding, better treatments, and ultimately a cure, I want you to know we stand with you. And to every family who's impacted by conditions like this, we see your efforts and your work, and we commit to always standing beside you as you are quite literally fighting for the lives of your loved ones. So, thank you.
Thank you. Any further discussion, colleagues? I'll just share gratitude as well for you raising this to our attention. It is always important to raise awareness for rare health conditions because better awareness, of course, can increase earlier detection, care, support, and most importantly, just reminds the broader community that we must be nurturing the compassion in one another and really seeking to understand what a family is going through. And I just commend your resilience, and we'll be wishing for your comfort. With that, we will bring this to vote, and then should you wish, we do have a proclamation to present to you if you would like to take a photo, no pressure, but we have the proclamation regardless. Colleagues, all those in favor of this proclamation, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and March is officially GRA Awareness Month in Hennepin County. 13B is also a proclamation recognizing March 31st, 2026 as Transgender Day of Visibility in Hennepin County, offered by myself. I will move this. May I have a second, please? Second. Thank you, Commissioner Green. March 31st is recognized worldwide as Transgender Day of Visibility. It is crucial that in light of continuing and escalating anti-trans sentiments and legislation throughout this country, that we take the opportunity to acknowledge and show our support for our transgender, gender nonconforming, and non-binary employees, residents, and community members. I'll ask the clerk to read the proclamation, and then I'll have additional comments after.
Whereas Transgender Day of Visibility is an annual event observed on March 31st that celebrates and raises awareness of transgender people worldwide. And whereas this annual event provides a platform to acknowledge and uplift the contributions and achievements of transgender people and non-binary people, empowering them to live authentically, while also drawing attention to the discrimination and violence the community faces. And whereas Hennepin County recognizes that transgender and non-binary employees, residents, and members of our communities are disproportionately affected by hate crimes and violence, while also experiencing compounding challenges in their daily lives due to discrimination such as, but not limited to, disproportionately high levels of unemployment, barriers to securing stable housing, and exclusion from high-quality, affordable, and accessible health care. And whereas Hennepin County further acknowledges that transphobic violence is inherently connected to race, gender, and class, and in 2024, more than 3/4 of the transgender and non-binary people killed in the United States were people of color, with Black transgender women at particularly high risk of violence. And whereas it is imperative to consider these intersections of identities as we continue to fight for equity in Hennepin County and in Minnesota. And whereas Hennepin County's Transgender and Gender Nonconforming Employee Resource Group works to address the needs of transgender and gender nonconforming employees, to recommend improvements in serving transgender and gender nonconforming customers, and to broaden a network of allies through outreach and education. And whereas by observing the Transgender Day of Visibility, Hennepin County recognizes, admires, and celebrates transgender, gender nonconforming, and non-binary people in all their joy and resilience. Be it resolved that the Hennepin County Board of Commissioners hereby proclaims March 31st, 2026 as Transgender Day of Visibility in Hennepin County.
Thank you. A county-wide celebration of Transgender Day of Visibility will be held on March 31st between 4 and 6 p.m. in the 625 Auditorium. The event will feature live music, poetry, and storytelling from members of the LGBTQIA+ community, and refreshments will be provided. In addition, the Lowry Avenue and I-35W Bridge will be in pink, light blue, and white on March 31st in recognition of Transgender Day of Visibility. Colleagues, do you have any comments before we bring this to vote? I'll just add two things. One, it is really scary what's happening nationally with respect to our trans neighbors. Invalidating driver's licenses, which it seems to be connected to voting and or health access. Really disturbing direction with respect to limiting care that has been proven to improve the lives of so many people. And so Hennepin County remains unwavering in our love and support and care for everyone who finds themselves in our geography, and especially our trans youth. We will remain fighting for you. We'll bring this to a vote. All those in favor of 13B, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries, and March 31st, 2026 is proclaimed as Transgender Day of Visibility in Hennepin County. Uh, 13C is to award a contract to Concrete Idea, Inc. for accessibility improvements along various county roads. There's project number is listed here, and the sub-project number, the county cost, is a little over $1 million of the Metro Tax Active Transportation. May I have a motion, please? So moved. Second. Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Conley. Ms. Wetland.
Chair Fernando, Commissioners, consistent with county purchasing rules, this item awards a bid to Concrete Ideas Incorporated to perform accessibility improvements along various county roads. Jessa Trebojevic from Public Works Transportation Project Delivery can provide more information if you would like.
Noticing the language. Colleagues, would we like more information on this item? We don't love seeing Jessa in person, so that's nice, but not seeing anything. That we see the map up?
See the map.
Of course we do. Commissioner Conley.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do have a couple of questions. I'm really, really excited about these improvements on Franklin from Milwaukee to 30th, and I also see the Cedar Avenue improvements from 52nd Lake Nokomis Parkway and 19th Avenue and Riverside. And having walked those corridors, I know that the sidewalks are this big. So when I see concrete ink, I'm wondering if part of the ADA accessibility work will be widening or making the sidewalks a little bit wider in those areas. I know that Franklin in and of itself is going through a major capital project, but could you talk a little bit about some of the accessibility improvements we might see on these stretches? Thank you.
Certainly. Thank you, Madam Chair and Commissioners. I'm Jessa Trebojevic with Transportation Project Delivery. Commissioner Conley, with our ADA upgrade projects, we're generally focused to our intersections and making sure that those ramps that go from the sidewalk into the street are accessible for those that are walking or biking or in wheelchairs. And we are unfortunately not widening the sidewalks on those corridors. Usually that's reserved for our major reconstruction projects. So with Franklin Avenue, we will be upgrading our with our reconstruction project, not with these ADA improvements, unfortunately.
And just to follow up, and this is just for the contracting, it looks like the contract or concrete idea was chosen because of the best value, but do we know if it's a woman-owned or Black-owned, minority-owned business?
Madam Chair, Commissioner Conley, I do not know that offhand. It was done through lowest bid, so they were the lowest of multiple bidders on the project. I believe they are a small business, but I can confirm that for you.
Thank you.
Further discussion on 13C. Commissioner Green.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I wanted to ask about the project specifically on France Avenue and just find out what communication has happened to residents along France. I know that there's going to be a lot of interest in like, oh, you're just doing this, like you throw in these 5 other changes. So interested to hear. Thank you.
Chair Fernando, Commissioner Green. We do have some project communication specifically with the ramps that we're awarding in this project. We did need to acquire some easements in order to construct these improvements. So the property owners along this corridor are aware of the project and what's included. And these are coming ahead of our mill and overlay program, which will come, I believe, next summer. And so we're just having some general communications through communication staff, putting information out on our website with all of our upcoming projects, but not like our traditional community engagement that we would have for our reconstruction projects.
Thank you. Thank you.
Further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, thank you. We have 13C before us. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. 13D is to establish a public hearing on Tuesday, April 21, 2026 at 1:30 p.m. during the county's Administration, Operations, and Budget Committee for the purpose of issuing debt under the county's 2026 to 2030 Capital Improvement Program. I'll move this. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Commissioner Green. This is pretty self-explanatory. Colleagues, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We arrive at the end of our published agenda. Motion to adjourn, please.
Second?
Thank you, Commissioners Anderson and Conley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned, but don't go too far. We have a very brief meeting of the Regional Railroad Authority.
Good times. Good times. Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Tuesday, March 17th, 2026, and I will call to order this meeting of the Hennepin County Regional Railroad Authority. The first item on our agenda is to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Motion from Commissioner Fernando and a second from Commissioner Anderson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, our agenda is approved. Second item of business is item 2A, the meeting minutes from our February 12th, 2026 meeting. I will move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Anderson. Seeing no notes or corrections, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, the minutes are approved. For the claims register, we have one claims register for the period ending February 16th, 2026. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second?
Motion from Commissioner Fernando and a second from Commissioner Conley. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed. No items on our agenda besides that, so I will call us adjourned. Thank you.
Great.